Hi, this is Phil Palazzolo. Just wanted to address about Joe Budden thinking Love Is Rage 2 is trash. I did a video earlier about this on reviewing his album, and I seen another interview where Joe Budden's going back to back with this guy on how his album is trash off one listen. I just want to say, any album you listen to just for once, you're not going to be able to get much out of it. I remember when I heard The Life of Pablo the first time, it's not like when I heard it the 10th time. I understand with Lil Uzi Vert and a lot of these new artists, they're getting a lot of negative publicity from older rappers, washed up rappers, rappers that are they can't stay relevant for some reason or having trouble. So they're blaming all these new guys, saying they ruined everything. It's not real rap, it's mumble rap, and it's really not. If you look, I don't know how many years it would be, maybe 7 years ago, when Crunk came out, it didn't get as nearly as much negative as some of these new guys, and it's, if you want to call it Crunk trash, which I don't believe it is trash, but if you want to call Crunk trash, you might as well label it the same as these new guys, because lyrically Crunk is awful. I understand lyrically these new guys aren't that great, but here's something that everyone needs to understand, is that trap, and especially new wave trap with guys like Kodak Black, Lil Uzi Vert, 21 Savage, Lil Xan, Lil Peep, Playboy Cardi, Yachty, any of those guys, is just that this new form of rap that's emerging is basically, if you think about it, is the punk rock version of rap. You got punk rock is freedom of expression. It's, you play as sloppy as you want and do whatever you want and still be able to play. I feel like that's what a lot of these new rappers are doing. They're not necessarily waiting till they're pro lyricists. They're just putting out material. And a lot of people don't understand that as technology has evolved, so has music, and so has music platforms. So just recently, within 5 years, and especially now, it's very popular. You got music streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Google Play, even Napster still has an app, and these platforms basically make it so that anyone can be an artist, and that's something new right now, and not many people are used to it. Like, if you go on Spotify and you search someone you've never heard before, you'll see so at least half of them have had millions of plays, just for putting their material on Spotify or on any other streaming service. What is happening right now is that before, you had to get a record deal to be heard. Before the internet, you had to be a record deal to be heard. So the rap game was like the NBA. And right now what is happening is, because of the streaming stage, for anyone to go on that made a track or music can release an EP, and they can become relevant without a label and without radio play. And in one way, that's awesome. But a lot of these guys are salty that these newer guys are coming up. But it's just a change that is happening through technology. It's like if the NBA, for some reason, all of a sudden just let every high school freshman one year just infiltrate the NBA and play with all the all-stars. Of course, all the all-stars are going to get a little frustrated with half of them because, those guys were just starting out. Yeah, you got your freshman prodigies, but I'm talking about like if it was totally flooded. That's what's going on right now in the rap and music industry. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I really think it's almost just like punk rock if you just really deep think about it. Just like, okay, they took rock and they made it punk, young kids doing rock their own way, playing as sloppy as they want, total freedom of expression. That's art. And a lot of these older dudes, half of them are sellouts anyway. They had people write music for them. They bought in songs from people. Even Pharrell, that stupid Happy song he made, he bought that song. And then he just sang it. He didn't write it. So in my eyes, if anything, I used to have a lot of respect for Pharrell. Now I think he's just a sellout. At least these guys aren't selling out. At least these guys aren't putting their music on commercials, or at least they're writing their own songs. When you get to a certain level of a musician, you don't have to write your own songs anymore. You just pay for them. But at the same time, that kind of takes away everything you are as an artist. You just rely on your singing. And that's cool and all, but if you're really a true artist, you want people to hear your work. And a lot of people are hating on Love Is Rage 2. And what I want to say positive about it is that, okay, first off, the cover art, I wasn't a big fan at first. And then I thought about it, and Virgil Abloh designed that cover, and he put his own Off-White labeling brand tape on the cover, which was cool. It was unique. Not a lot of people understood it at first, but now that Off-White is becoming bigger with, affiliations with shoes and clothing and everything, I think it's cool that Uzi, put a fashion brand on his album. I mean, you would think Kanye would have done that before Uzi. And another thing, I mean, if you look at his deluxe version, he gives you 20 tracks. I mean, out of all 20 tracks, I doubt the album is trash. And I've listened to it, and it's not. I mean, there's some songs that, yeah, they don't really fit. But he releases so much material that it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. See, this is what happened with Sparked Lil Uzi. What sparked him was on Bad and Bougie. Everyone started getting on him after that song, after that verse. And then when he went on tour with The Weeknd, he somehow came out with that smash hit EXO Tour Life and has been on the charts ever since. We could use The Way Life Goes too, which I predicted earlier, but I mean, he became what he said he was going to become, and that's why you gotta have some respect for the guy. Out of all the new dudes, out of all of them, Uzi became the rock star that he said he was going to become. I don't know what the future of his career is going to be, but right now he's doing quite well for himself, and he's developing a cult following. He's talking about merging with other punk rock artists or other heavy rock artists like Marilyn Manson, as everyone knows, and that's cool. I mean, I don't understand why everyone has to be such a hater on these new kids. I mean, they're in their early 20s. Of course, they're gonna act kind of like with this kind of invincible mentality, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just a stage in their life, and these guys are up and coming, and these older guys are salty because they're taking some of the spotlight away from them. I mean, they really are. I mean, these past couple months have just been really new guys that have been dropping stuff. I mean, there've been some other albums, but they weren't really that good. And that's another reason why I haven't reviewed anything in a second, because there hasn't been an album that's really wowed me. I mean, you got the Big Sean album, you got G-Eazy. Neither album wowed me. And I'm not saying Love Is Rage 2 wowed me, but it at least satisfied what I was looking for. And what's cool about it is that it's it's unique. His sound is so unique. He created it himself. And you have a lot of rappers right now trying to hang on his coattails, and that shows a lot because it shows that he created something successful. And I know I've mentioned Lil Pump before, and I don't like him at all, but he's a rapper for as an example that is kind of copying off Lil Uzi a little bit. If you look at the colored dreads, the way they dress, the skinny jeans, the lean cup, um, just their whole like the clout movement is kind of what Uzi started. And another one is 6ix9ine, who I don't understand how he's even still famous after what he was charged with, but he's another one who dyed his hair like Uzi and is, kind of trying to have a harder sound. And I think this is just a really interesting thing in the rap game, because the rap game's been pretty mundane over the years. It's always been the same way, and because of this kind of wave and this change, this ripple, it's caused a little stir in the industry. But there's nothing wrong with it. I think these guys will evolve. I think whoever isn't talented will drop off, just like every other rapper. And if you notice, throughout your whole life, you've always had phases with rappers. Back when you were a kid, you may have liked Nelly, and then you went to Lil Wayne, and then you might have went to Kanye, you may have went to Jay, and then you may have wanted to try other guys, like new guys like Wiz Khalifa and stuff like that, Kid Cudi. So yeah, these guys might be not as lyrical, but Uzi, for example, is melodic. These guys are melodic. They rap to the beat. It's not about the lyrics anymore in rap, and it's turning more into the beat and just going along with the beat. And that's what a rap is evolving into, and not a lot of guys, older guys, like it, because they got to change their styles now. They got to try to stay relevant because of these new guys, so they're hating. Joe Budden, I don't even understand why he's relevant. Again, I know I've said this before in a video before, but his only song he came out with was Pump It Up, which was not a good lyrical song at all. So I don't know why he's hating on everybody. I think just because no one wants to buy his shit, because he's not melodic. Yeah, he can throw some lyrics together, but he can't go to the beat. And if you can't go to the beat and you can't make radio plays, you're not going to be successful. Yeah, Joe Budden's like mediocre successful because, people that interview him and shit because he's a hater. But honestly, the dude's going to run out of money if he doesn't figure out something to do with it or has invested it by now. So, like Joe Budden said on the thing, I want anyone to challenge me that this album isn't trash. Well, I'm challenging him right now. It's not trash. You're trash. And sorry to break it to you. I still love His Rage 2. I give it a B+. Good album. And also, if you guys didn't see my albums on the back, it's just because the adhesive that I used to put them on the wall, it wasn't very sturdy, and then they started falling off, and it was kind of damaging the covers. So I need to, I don't know, go to the hardware store soon and find something a little stronger. And next time I upload a video, I'll put it up. I appreciate you guys coming and listening to me on the album dissection. This was just a quick review on kind of revisiting Love Is Rage 2's Deluxe and just the state of rap music right now, the state of new trap, the state of some of these young guys. And I do want to commend the rappers that are willing to work with the new guys, that look at it in a positive way, because that's how they're going to make their careers grow. And that's it. Thanks for joining me. This is Phil Palazzolo, Album Dissection. And next time there's a good album, and if you want me to review an album, please put it in the comment section. I will review it. I'll see you guys soon.